Help support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps your bank information private when shopping online. Take control of your subscriptions and other recurring payments, plus pause and close privacy cards at any time. And get $5 right now to try the service at collision.live/privacy. Our next guest is here. Hello.
Hey, how's
Hi.
it going, guys?
Fantastic. How are you?
Great.
Go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
All right. My name's Aaron. I'm Aaron Short. I'm the CEO and founder of Beeline Analytics. We're a mobility survey platform. So we help organizations to better understand their mobility patterns, achieve environmental certifications, enhance connectivity within cities, and we make our clients a lot of money at the same time. Yeah.
I mean, that's always helpful.
Win-win.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be.
Yeah.
So explain what you mean by mobility.
So mobility, before I started this company, I was working as an urban planner.
Okay.
And so in the last couple of years, we've seen like a huge boom within the smart cities kind of movement.
Yeah.
And we were kind of working on this, and just as an urban planner, you saw we had to work with data in order to design, transit systems. And I realized that the data that they were using was just absolutely terrible. So they look at the sale of transit passes, they count cars at problem intersections.
Sure.
They have observational cameras over highways, so you're getting 1 point or, and not all the points. And then every 5 years, every census year, they do a phone survey with people with landlines, and they ask people how they think they moved over the last 5 years. And then as an urban planner, you're like, wow, I got to use this data to design some active transportation systems and some transit. And you're like, it's just like guesswork.
Yeah,
so,
because people with landlines?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm not even interested in that data.
I know. And 88% of millennials don't have access to landlines. Because once they, go off to university or leave the house, they don't get a landline.
That's the end of it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's this entire segment of the population that wasn't being polled.
Yeah.
So this kind of came out of
representation at all in that data, other than maybe driving under a camera.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And
Okay.
it's just, again, observational. It's 1 point, not all the points.
Sure.
And so there was just within the community, the urban planning community, a lot of transportation engineers kind of focused on data, just because there's a lot of points of smart cities. But if you can just have better data and then have better design, then you can really not ask people how they move, but look at how people actually move.
Mm-hmm.
The efficiencies in that, the millions of dollars you can save to public transit authorities, to land developers, we work with universities as well to help them optimize their campus so they can get, faculty and students there faster. See, do they have too much parking? Do they have too little parking? How many, electric chargers do they need? How many people actually have them on, electric vehicles on campus? Where do you put your scooters? Where do you put your bikes? So again, just making everything move much more swiftly and then optimizing it. So a lot of people don't know this, but parking spaces are really expensive.
Yeah.
On average, about $100,000 per space for a parking space. So that's structured parking. But if you go to New York, San Francisco, you're looking at $250 plus security, plus lighting, operating costs. So if we can get rid of 10 parking spaces for one of our clients, we've saved them $1 million.
$1 million.
And it's so easy to just kind of look at, say, a university campus where 95% of students don't have access to cars, so they bike, walk, or take transit. And the zoning says, cool, you have a building of 100 people, you need 100 parking spots, when really they only need 5 parking spots because 95% of students don't have cars.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're just basing it on population,
it's guessing.
That's not. That's not information.
A stab in the dark.
Yeah. And that's what these kind of engineering standards have been based on, is just these old techniques of okay, maybe, but it's not optimized. And that's really what we do. And so we kind of do the smart cities thing, but from the bottom up. So we'll work with an institution or with a land developer. We get them their green building certification because they require commuter surveys every year or every couple years. And then at the same time, when we collect that, we're like, hey guys, we found some really interesting data on how everybody gets here, and it's all anonymized data, so everyone's identity is protected. We just give them a survey code, and we don't ask for anything that can identify them whatsoever. Right? We do say at the end hey, if you want the results of the study, give us your email. We can email them to you, but that's it. You know? But yeah, so it's all like GDPR compliant.
So they don't get like a list that says, Jack says he drives 3 hours a day.
That's like kind of what we're going up against.
Right. Yeah, that's what data is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't ask people how they move. We look at how people actually move. And then we can generate heat maps, trip time, purpose, duration. It's really, really cool stuff. It's like it's transportation engineering or planning 2.0. Really.
Sure.
How long should you monitor, a particular area to make your decisions?
You always want to do, the ideal time to kind of collect this data is in the fall. Like, people are back from vacation. They're not, going, around Christmas. People's transportation patterns change for, Thanksgiving, but also, around Christmas. So the fall is a really good time to collect data. 2 weeks, and then if you do something like 2 weeks in the winter, because people's, obviously in Canada, you dog sled to work in the winter, right? And it's very different from biking in the summer.
That was an unexpected presentation. I appreciate that.
Hey, you're in Canada. We talk about dog sledding all the time.
Yeah, we're from Florida in the United States, so we're
the idea of
dog sledding.
For us, even the idea of snow is mostly bizarre in Florida. So,
tisk. I grow this beard just because I need to keep warm. For no other reason.
Okay, so your clients are the development.
Yeah, we do land developers.
Okay.
Cities, and then we also
schools.
do higher ed. Yeah. So we just finished a contract with the State University of New York in Syracuse.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really fun. So they had just a class. I came in, I did a presentation, gave the pitch on how data is terrible, and they were like, this is crazy. And then then we're like, cool, as part of your class project, you guys are going to get people on this platform, and you're going to get the green building certification for the building that you guys have your classes out of. So they got marked on that, and they had this army, and they got everybody on the platform. And so we compared our survey asked people how they move at the beginning, and then we compare it to how people actually move over. So we have the 1 day where people say, and then we have 14 days of collection where it's cool, this is how you actually move. And so people can actually see whoa, I was way off on that,
Yeah.
That's actually really cool,
I did not know anything about my own day.
Yeah. Totally. Well, people are just too busy,
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you track your every movement? You can't,
Right.
So this is super valuable for urban planners because that's what they want. They want people to get a higher quality of life, get to work faster, et cetera, et cetera. So much money. There's a statistic. It's I think traffic congestion costs the North American economy about $310 billion a year, just in late employees, missed appointments. This is not even less time spent with family or environmental costs.
And that doesn't even count the hit from Game of Thrones.
It's true.
I had to get that in there because I saw a number on the expected economic hit of the show ending.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I missed the last episode. I was watching the Raptors game. Go Raptors.
Don't watch it. It's not worth it.
Interesting. Wait, I think we were too.
Raptors game?
Yeah. We at the restaurant that we stopped at.
I watched it 3 hours later.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? The Kawhi shot. That just history. Great.
So obviously once all the data is collected, now we can make smart decisions based on it for logistics and parking and all kinds of stuff. I would imagine in an area like where we are right now, which is a weird and chaotic area with a convention center and an arena and we've got things all around us. I would imagine that it would be great for being able to make improvements to a market like these 8 city blocks.
Yeah, it would definitely be, just to understand how people move. We primarily focus on how people commute, to and from a building, to help people kind of get to work faster, enhance worker productivity. Also,
not making it easier for me to drive here this morning.
No, you just, take a car share.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
Actually, it was pretty easy to get here.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we do.
Okay.
We've also done some, we've got some really cool stuff coming up in the fall. Currently, we're raising our seed round, which is, it's always fun. Gets you traveling around, meeting lots of cool people.
Right.
It's just down in the South. Oh, man, it's like summer in the South. I'm so jealous of that.
Yeah, it's
always
been that since this point last year.
Wow.
It's always
Forever.
summer.
Jealous.
Forever.
So jealous.
Are you here as an alpha or beta?
As an alpha.
As an alpha, okay.
Yep.
So what are you hoping to get out of the show?
Just meeting a lot of people from around the world, trying to meet as many, obviously connecting with investors. You're seeing people kind of at the forefront of sophisticated technologies here. Just getting different ideas, I also I'm also a designer by trade, and there's just so much cool design here that you can just kind of take away. Sure. I don't know. It's also just a recharge in a lot of ways. Like, there's a lot going on, but at the same time, you're meeting so many people who are just passionate about what they're doing, and they're like, I'm gonna make this happen, and like it's so cool to just like, as startup founders, you often like paint the walls in the cave, and then you come out and you're like, oh, I'm not the only one painting the walls in the cave. Right.
Yeah. So that's what we like about coming to this conference. We see all of the passion in everyone's eyes. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's really happy.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's definitely
and no matter what the topic is, the people who are presenting are so excited and passionate about their thing. We love that.
Yeah.
And you can feel it in this building.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So if people want to find out more about your platform or follow your corporate journey, how can they do that?
You can visit our website at beeline.io, so BLINE.io. And then we're also on Facebook as Beeline Analytics, and on LinkedIn, Twitter, all the socials. So Instagram is probably the easiest one. Beeline Analytics, and then you can find the other socials from there. Pictures worth 1,000 words, so I think we have a picture of all of our socials on there. So that would be the best if they want to follow that.
Very cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
And have a good rest of Collision.
Yes,
Oh, well, you too. Thanks again.